Hi, this is Brisky the barbecue wizard, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Bye-bye!
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Afternoon and welcome to a bonus live show of the Barbecue Central Show. A show on Tuesdays where we talk about barbecue and grilling items. Today here on Hump Day, we will talk about barbecue and grilling items. But oh boy, are they going to be strictly related to something called the Barbecue Hall of Fame. That's right. We are starting to get into this whole setup. It's going to be a 3-week run from where you see it today to where it will culminate at the end of the month. It's been going on for quite some time now. So, let me give you a little setup here because we have a special guest from the American Royal, Emily Park. I'll be picking up her in just a second. She's the manager at the World Series of Barbecue. We'll be making the exclusive announcement of the 9 semi-finalists for the Barbecue Hall of Fame class of 2020. Ultimately, 3 of those 9 will make up this year's class. That will be another exclusive show that I will be doing with Emily and the folks at the American Royal. And that will be on May 27th at 3 p.m. Eastern, same time as we're doing it here today. So set some reminders, put things in your calendars, ask me to remind you, get on a mailing list, whatever it takes for you to remember. Easiest thing to do if you're not doing it already is probably follow me socially at BBQ Central Show, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok /BBQ Central Show on Facebook. And I will make sure that over the next handful of weeks, I'm posting. Any updates are going to be coming along. And then, of course, when the actual big announcement comes at the end of the month on the 27th. And again, that will be exclusively with the Barbecue Central Show and the American Royal as we announce those final 3, which will be the class of 2020. Now, before we get to Emily, if you missed the show last night, then you didn't hear Malcolm Reed from How to Barbecue Right give you his entire pork butt recipe /method /cooking process. If you are especially new to barbecue, that's something you want to go back and get because not always are you able to find somebody that will just release their secret pork recipes. And Malcolm is a king of pork. And for him to just lay it all out from start to finish was absolutely fantastic. So go back. It is in podcast form right now. First hour available. Second hour will be available tomorrow, early in the morning. That's with Sam the Cooking Guy. So if you are a fan of when Sam and I get together and chat, you will enjoy this particular segment, 2 segments, exceptionally well. We talked about a lot of different varying topics, not the least of which was how is his business or businesses going to be opening up here over the next handful of days and weeks. So go back and get the first hour now if you missed it last night live. And then second hour will be out tomorrow. Don't forget Best of Show will be out on Friday as well. And then as soon as we're done here with this special live show, as we get ready to announce the 9 semifinalists, which we'll get to here in just a second, I will post the replay of this show ASAP. Do a little post on that. And then we will go ahead and get it up there. So in case you're not able to join us here live today, you will be able to get it at your leisure the balance of the day today, tomorrow, whenever you get it. But the sooner, the better for this stuff. So without any further ado, let's race to the hotline. And welcome back, the manager at the World Series of Barbecue, Emily Park. Hey, Emily.
Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, well, I'm very excited because we've added a new wrinkle, and I mean wrinkle in only the best ways possible. Last year, we did a live exclusive show where we announced the 2019 Barbecue Hall of Fame class, and this year we've added this extra exclusive show where we are going to reveal the 9 semifinalists. So we're teasing at our very best, and then over the next 3 weeks, we'll see how it all plays out. So when we reconvene on the 27th at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, we will then announce again for the second year in a row the 3 members that will make up the class of 2020 for the Barbecue Hall of Fame. So before we get into that, because I know everybody's looking to do that, I want to allow a little bit of time for audience to build in case people are trying to get somewhere safe in order to hear this. Let's do a little housekeeping first. No surprise to anybody. It's been a big topic on this show for the last couple months. Coronavirus is around. Are there any updates as far as the American Royal itself is concerned with dates moving back or things being postponed or anything like that that you can tell us about?
Yeah, so, we're pretty lucky right now because our date is the 3rd week of September. So I guess lucky in the fact that we haven't been forced to postpone yet, but we're really doing our best to see what we can do to host it on that date. But unfortunately, we don't know if it's going to be our decision. So our team's working hard to figure out a way to have the contest and see what that looks like. I think we're all in the same boat where we learn something new every couple of weeks. But I will tell you here that we're hoping to roll out registration in the next couple of weeks and see who wants to come, see what that looks like, but also change it so that our teams have the opportunity to register and maybe pay later and figure out what works for them, and knowing that everyone's status is different than it was a year ago, and it's going to be different in September. But with that then comes, what do we get to do out there? Is it just a contest, or do we get to have all of our big celebrations? That we don't know yet. But I will say we're very hopeful and pushing forward in a positive manner the best we can. But we're going to pivot along the way.
All right.
Once we learn more.
Fair enough. Sounds good. So if you're interested in at least putting in your application with some ability to move left to right, then look for those here over the next week or two and take it from there. BarbecueHallOfFame.com is the website, by the way, if you want to check it out here while we're talking. Emily Park joining me here on the show, and we're getting ready to announce the 9 semifinalists. 3 of those will make up the class of 2020 here. If we could, Emily, indulge me. And also, let's refresh everybody on the Hall of Fame process. We had talked about it last year for people that are new to this show or just new to barbecue in general. They're learning about the fact that there is a Barbecue Hall of Fame. Let's talk about the process from beginning to end. To start out, there is a open window period, for lack of a better term, where the general public, the American Royal is asking for people to nominate folks that they feel are deserving of some kind of a Hall of Fame conversation.
That is right. So we keep that. That's a form we have on our website. It is open, I say year-round, with the caveat that we shut it off during this time. And we'll open it back up here in a couple of weeks for the 2021 class. But we accept nominations basically the full calendar year. You can nominate anyone. Everyone can be nominated. There's no reason or there's no qualifier that says someone couldn't be nominated. It's just based on their qualifications if they get voted into the top 9. So you want me to keep going? We take all those nominations, and then all nominations stay for 3 years. So if you've been nominated, let's say someone was nominated in 2019, they'll stay on this nomination list until 2022 and then drop off, or potentially be voted in. Once they get dropped off of the nomination list, they can be put back on. Someone can nominate again. But what we actually see happening is we have about 60 to 70 individuals that get voted on each year, but we're receiving well over 100 nominations. So there's a lot of duplicates, which is a great thing. Get a lot of information about people, but we do usually see people pop back on this list even if they have dropped off. So that process happens calendar year long, and then our nominating committee gets the very fun task of reviewing every single nomination, reviewing the qualifications of that person, maybe even doing their own research if there's more to be found. And then they get to decide the top 9.
So
which is what we will talk about today.
Yeah, if I could back it up just for 1 second. So if in the big pool, I'm just going to call it the big pool, everybody, your name gets put in. It's good for 3 years. If you are then voted in the following year, or somebody nominates you the following year, is it 3 years from your most recent nomination, or do you immediately discard anything within the 3-year period? And then on that 4th year, if you don't make it into the 9, or you just decay off, you would have to be nominated again to earn another 3-year berth.
The second option. So if they've been nominated 1 year and they got nominated again, it's the most recent one. We will go from the most recent year they were nominated.
So as long as you get nominated every year, you're never going out of the pool. All right. Sounds great. Everybody, there you go. Okay, so then you have this big phone call, and you discuss through all of the big pool names, whittle it down to 9. There is a committee that does this, or that is in charge and responsible for this. Who are those people? And just to the best of your explanation, why do they comprise this committee? What makes them most worthy?
Well, hopefully when I say the names, you will very quickly know why they're very worthy. Not only are every single one of them I would say, master of the history of barbecue, but most of them are authors, and they are spending their livelihood spreading the good word of barbecue. I mean, they know the past, they're in the present, and they're really helping us to build our future. So who's on this list is Jim Ochmoody, Adrian Miller, Robert Moss, John Shelton Reed, Daniel Vaughn, and a new member this year is Ray Lampe, who's also a Hall of Famer. So Ray was asked to join this year for a multitude of reasons. He has a different perspective than some of the others on our committee from a different region. And also as a Hall of Famer, he gives us a really good insight into how the rest of the Hall of Famers are feeling and what they want out of this and the goals and what our future really brings. So not only is he sharing his vast knowledge from the nominating process, but also as it carries on to, what the future of the Hall of Fame physical location looks like and events we can host and all of that. So we're excited to have him join. And then the American Royal is part of this more as a facilitator, moderator when it comes to conversation. So we're really there to help move the information to the nominating committee, make sure we stay on track and meet our deadlines and goals, make sure we have all the information and that kind of thing. So as much as we are part of the committee, I would say our voice is the one that's really making sure that we hit our goals, where this group is very strong in picking the top 9.
All right, we are being joined here by Emily Park as we are getting ready to announce the 9 semi-finalists that will be eligible for potential induction into the class of 2020 Barbecue Hall of Fame here. One last question before we get to that, Emily. For the folks today that are making it into the 9, are they under some kind of a similar decay period like that big pool, or if you don't get in this year, you will start with there aren't going to be any carryovers in that semifinalist list. It will be a fresh 9 right from the beginning. You could have some extra ones or some names that show up from year to year, but you're not carrying anybody over.
That is correct. So there is no carryover in the semifinalist list. We take the full pool and discuss every single person again from the year prior. So there potentially could be people who drop off of the semifinalist list or people who stay on multiple years. Either is fine, but yes, each name is voted on for that year.
All right, Emily, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I know I am. All right, Emily, here we go.
Okay.
We are going to announce the 9 semifinalists, and they will then be sent out to vote. I guess that should be. I'm sorry. I'm teased, and now I'm pulling back. Once we come up with these 9, these are sent out to the current living Hall of Fame members to vote on. Top 3 will be the ones that comprise the class.
That is right.
Now, just to reconfirm, for any of the members that were put in posthumously, or maybe they've passed away from, they were alive when they got in, they aren't now. Those people aren't voted, nor are those votes passed down to some living member for them to take up for. It's just whoever is living and in the Hall of Fame is going to be the ones casting those final votes.
That is correct.
All right, now we're ready. Here we go.
Ready.
All right. I turn the floor over to you in no particular order. Emily, have at it.
Okay. All right. So the 2020 semifinalists for the Barbecue Hall of Fame are as follows.
All right.
William Bill Arnold.
Wow.
Joe Don Davidson. Aaron Franklin. Meathead Goldwyn. John Marcus. Desiree Robinson, Rodney Scott, Darren Worth, and Leanne Whippen.
Oh, now that is, I'm feverishly writing down here so we can. What was the second name? I think I might have chopped over you there.
Joe Don Davidson.
All right. So I think I know all of the names. The second one might be a little less familiar with folks, but I think if you put it in the right context, the name probably will ring. Let's start from number 1. Who's Bill Arnold, and why does he make the cut?
Bill Arnold. So I want to say everyone will know him when I say Blues Hog barbecue sauce.
No doubt about it.
Blues Hog is incredibly famous. Not only it started off on the competition circuit. He was winning all these contests with the sauce, and then all of the other competitors are trying to recreate his sauce. And then from there, he's really just extended it into what everyone can do. It's at your local grocer. It changes the way you cook. It's really changed the way that barbecue sauce was at that time, and now it's reproduced everywhere. So, Blues Hog barbecue sauce. It is also the most winning barbecue sauce of all time of any competition. So if you haven't had it, anyone listening, if you haven't had it, go out and try it. Highly recommend it.
All right. Next was Joe Don Davidson.
Yes, Joe Don Davidson. So you will know it when you hear the story. So from Oklahoma, ties to his name, Oklahoma Joe's.
Aha.
So Joe Don Davidson actually was a co-founder of Oklahoma Joe's with current Hall of Famer Jeff Staney. But when their partnership ended, his life in barbecue did not. He continued with not only the restaurant Oklahoma Joe's outside of Kansas City. You see a couple other of those outside of Kansas City, but also more famously known probably for his Oklahoma Joe's grills, his smokers. That whole brand, and he built that empire and really changed that game there. So he's twofold. You see the restaurateur, but also changing the industry with his smokers and all of his accessories.
Third on the list, and this is one of a couple repeat 9 finalists. Aaron Franklin, once again on this list. He was on for the first time last year. So I would assume that that's a pretty... obviously, it's a very big name, but to get back on the semifinalist list is speaking pretty well for him and what he's bringing to the live fire industry.
Absolutely. He is one of the returning, and not just because it was what he did last year, but actually his impact has even extended this year in barbecue. Years ago, he was much more known for just his restaurant. And now we're seeing him educating everyone, with his series on Masterclass and things like that. He's really changed his platform into the next thing he can do, sharing his craft outside of just giving everybody a taste of it, but giving you a shot to try to do it yourself. So we see this being great for him. And, also he is a very known current, I would say, celebrity of barbecue, for lack of better word.
Also on the list, who was on last year for the first time, Meathead from AmazingRibs.com.
Yes, Meathead. All right. So this is great. Meathead is, I want to say single-handedly pushing out the information of barbecue to the masses. He's got New York best-selling book, and basically go to AmazingRibs.com anytime you want to know anything you could possibly think of on barbecue, at home, competition, restaurants, you name it. It's the one-stop shop. And very fun and entertaining information, as well as being very educational.
And second Tuesday of the month regular guest on the Barbecue Central show, if you didn't know that. How about that? That had to have put him over the edge for the second year, no doubt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep. New on the list this year, and somebody who I had actually nominated last year, John Marcus. For those that don't know him, obviously really big on the TV side of things, but it's much more than that. Why does John Marcus make the list this year?
Yeah, you nailed it right on the head. I think the biggest thing is his impact to spreading barbecue to everyone. He is a key factor in bringing pitmasters to air. Pitmasters, that is in everyone's homes, and it really changed the way everyone learned about what is barbecue. What is the barbecue circuit? What is doing it from a restaurant side? What is doing it at home? What does it look like now? What are the different ways to do it? He was instrumental on that, and that's only one of the many shows he's brought to the screen. Yep. So I think that's the biggest way we could describe, is without even saying, you can't say pitmasters to anybody and not know what it is, and that just shows his impact. Yeah,
certainly exposure. I mean, when you look at how much he has exposed, or how many people he has exposed barbecue to, I mean, it's absolutely huge, especially over the amount of years that he has done it. So well deserved for John Marcus. Another person who was on for the first time last year and shows up again here in 2020, Desiree Robinson from Cozy Corner Barbecue out there in the Memphis area.
You are right. So Desiree is back again. We're excited about that. She, long-standing restaurateur, has been in this industry longer than really anyone else on this list, I will say. She is, I want to say, 79 or 80 years old now, and still pushing the good word of barbecue, and one of the most famous and recognizable, and I would not even say just that, but known as the best in Memphis. So I'm very well deserving of this.
All right, now we move on to the final names here. This one, you say this name, and the first thing I think of is Carolina and Whole Hog Barbecue, one of the masters of that style, but certainly much more than that, Rodney Scott.
Yep, that is right. Rodney Scott, he's really single-handedly brought back the whole hog barbecue. It was something that past time and had gone away, and he's really brought that back. Great representation from the Carolinas, and I think it's very worthy of this. And this is a short list of what they can do. I tell everyone to look at these names and spend a little time and researching what they've done. And you and I could probably be on this call for 3 or 4 hours just going through one of the names, talking about everything they've done, but we don't have that time today. So that's just, if you said high level Rodney Scott, you're spot on. Whole Hog Barbecue in the Carolinas.
Next up is the guy who I just had on the show last night, second guest in the first hour. One of the most, if not the most prolific competition cook to have ever graced the competition circuit, pitmaster of Iowa Smokey D's, founder of Smokey D's restaurant out there in Des Moines, Iowa, Darren Worth.
Yeah, Darren's got a couple awards under his belt, I would say.
I think all of them but one, to be honest.
Yeah, I could just imagine what his home and restaurant looked like with all those ribbons and trophies. Yeah, Darren is phenomenal pitmaster and restaurateur. His list of honors is surpassed almost all, but you really put him up there against the folks who are already in the Hall of Fame right now. I can name quite a few who would love to, but also be fearful to come up against him in a competition. So he's wonderful and a good friend of the American royalty. We're really honored that he's part of this list.
All right, rounding out the 9 that could be inducted into the 2020 Barbecue Hall of Fame is Leanne Whippen.
Leanne Whippen, yeah. So Leanne Whippen, man, she's really kind of covered every single different type of barbecue you can think of. She has been a judge. She has competition cook. She's opened 6 restaurants. You see her now on TV all the time. You name the barbecue show, and she's been on it. She's doing it all. And I have to say, she's kind of dominating this very heavy male profession in sport and taking people down. So it's a big honor to have her on this as well.
Now, in 3 weeks' time, we will be revealing the 3 that will make up the class of 2020. In between that time, obviously, as we had mentioned here at the top of the show, the current Hall of Fame members will be voting on this 9, so top 3 will make it in. Is there anything else, Emily, before I let you go here this afternoon that you want to get out there or that we should be made aware of?
I do. I want to tell you about a new category that we are going to have this year.
All right.
Now, we will not be sharing the names today, but we are looking into a legacy category right now.
Okay.
So our Hall of Fame committee, our nominating committee, has brought this as a new category, and this is to really honor those who are the landscape of barbecue. They started it, well before our time and not currently active, but we definitely want to honor them. So our plan is that we will nominate up to 3 legacy members each year. These members are someone who has made it a very big impact on barbecue, but unfortunately is deceased. Mm-hmm. So it's just really going to honor our past. And we're really excited to share that. And those will be part of the induction names on the 27th as well.
Great. All right. Anything else?
Everyone pay attention on the 27th for the big announcement. I will be back. And in the meantime, if you want some more information on these top 9, come to our website. We've got that information as well as our nominating committee and their bios and everything about them. So please visit there and spread the good barbecue news to everyone.
All right, there you have it, the 9 that have the opportunity of making up the class of 2020. Emily, always appreciate the time, and we will reconvene in 3 weeks' time to announce the class.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Thank you so much. There she is, Emily Park from the American Royal. She's the manager at the barbecue, or the World Series of Barbecue. The website, by the way, and all of this will go public here within the hour, barbecuehalloffame.com, BARBECUE, barbecuehalloffame.com. And once again, if you're just tuning in here late, these are the 9 that make it in. Bill Arnold, Blues Hog Joe, Don Davidson, Oklahoma Joe, Aaron Franklin, no explanation needed, Meathead from AmazingRibs.com, John Marcus, Desiree Robinson from Cozy Corner, Rodney Scott from Rodney Scott Barbecue, Darren Worth, Iowa Smoky D's, Leanne Whippen. And let's see, we have Aaron Franklin and Meathead and Desiree, who were first-timers to the short list of 9 last year. And then, even though it was dusted off and started clean, reemerge as a third return for the option, or not the option, but the potential of making up the Barbecue Hall of Fame class here in 2020. So hopefully, if you had any questions about how this whole process works or how the decay off lists work, all that has been answered. We have the 9 in 3 weeks' time. We're going to be announcing the 2020 class. Again, follow me socially so I can keep you up to speed at BBQ Central Show. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, /BBQ Central Show on Facebook. Give me a like there. You can also get video feeds of the Tuesday show there as well, also on YouTube. Thanks, everybody, for watching me on Facebook and on YouTube. Get the podcast if you miss it here live. And be sure to check out the second hour of yesterday's show, as that will be released tomorrow as well. Thanks again to Emily Park and the great folks over at the American Royal for allowing us to do this exclusive partnership announcement. And we will see you back on the Barbecue Central Show Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, it's your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good afternoon.
This is Jenny Bell from Clarington, Ohio, and I'm listening to Barbecue Central.